It is officially time for the H.A.L NFT mint here, put on by the H.A.L team. As a part of today's video, I'm sitting down with their CMO to break down what the H.A.L NFTs are and exactly what you stand to benefit by contributing to their ecosystem. Now, if it's your first time seeing these NFTs, they're actually going to be customizable NFT characters that you can use within the different projects building in the ecosystem. That includes Hosky, Ascent Rivals, and Cornucopias, just to name a few. As a part of today's video, we're diving into the details here. And again, the mint is live. It has officially started on September 18th, depending on when you're watching this video. So if you are an H.A.L owner, make sure to show some support. And as always, if you appreciate content like this, I would appreciate you if you could smash that thumbs up on the way in. If you want more, consider subscribing to the channel. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to voice off down below. That said, enjoy today's interview. Oh, what's up, Ada Gang? Welcome into Dapp Central, your home for everything blockchain and crypto. I'm your host here, Fareed. As a part of today's video, we're breaking down everything H.A.L. That's also H.A.L. If you guys haven't heard of it, it's an upcoming mint that's going to give you a lot of additional features and flexibility for everything tied to your ADA handle. One of the biggest NFT-powered naming solutions here within the Cardano ecosystem. As a part of today's video, I'm going to be joined by their CMO, who's basically brought on here to answer all of your questions, my questions, and just give you guys all of the alpha here as it relates to their upcoming mint taking place on the 11th of September. Without any further ado, let me bring them up. We've got the CMO of Core Labs, also the developers of ADA Handle.
Morning, everybody. How's it going? I'm the CMO of ADA Handle. I've been going on 2 years with the team right now. I'm the one managing all the accounts, working directly with all the developers on the team to make sure that everything is community focused and bringing it all together. So happy to answer any questions you have today, my friend Fareed. So this is really cool. I appreciate you bringing us on. And there's a lot of exciting things we're building for in the future, like the H.A.L NFT collection. And there's also a lot of very, very exciting things that are happening right now with just regular handles in general. So love to talk about it all.
No, thank you for joining me here. I've had the pleasure of actually just meeting you in person at the Rare Evo that just took place at Caesar's Palace. I've also had the pleasure of meeting not Papa Goose, but just, I want to say it's regular Goose, right?
Yep, regular Goose.
He and I got to sit down back at Rare Bloom. That was like in 2023. And then I
It's been a long
believe
time.
last year in 2024, we got to meet again. And so it seems like you're sort of stepping in here, but wanted to say thank you for taking the time. And for the viewers, there definitely will be more content and more support here when it comes to H.A.L, first of all, but then also the ADA handle standard. Now, you already sort of kicked us off with a little bit of intro about who you are, but because this is your first time here on the channel, would love to hear about, how you came into Cardano and how you've now found yourself as the CMO of Core Labs.
Yeah, of course. So from my perspective, I joined the Cardano community around in 2021 when the NFTs started coming on chain. That's when I really started being very active socially on Twitter specifically, or X now. So from my side of things, I've just been very, very active inside of the community, big community member for a very, very long time. A lot of people would know my account, so that's going to be something that's going to be happening, sharing who I actually am inside of the community here in a couple of weeks here. It's along with the kind of the campaign that we're going for. I've been working with the team now for almost 2 years, going on 2 years. So they saw how I was explaining a lot of things online and going over different topics about Cardano specifically, and they really thought that I would have a good perspective on how to keep the community engaged and how to really move the handle standard forward in a community-focused manner, basically. So for me, I've just been a very, very active community member inside of the community for a long time. A lot of people probably would know, and I'm going to be telling everybody very soon here. It's a part of the fun. But yeah, so I've been working with the Handle team now for a couple years, or going on 2 years. I work directly with all of the developers, directly with all of the entire team. We have artists, developers. So I'm communicating with them all day long, talking about different ways to advance Handle, make the products better, make things more fun, entertaining, and I've been managing all the socials as well. So that's me writing all the tweets. If you're ever commenting, you're interacting with me directly. And if you ever have any questions too, always feel free to DM the ADA Handle account. You'll be reaching me directly. So, yeah.
Perfect.
It's been a long
Again,
journey, but it's been a fun one.
yeah, I think people will be very excited to sort of understand who you are and your other
Hmm.
contributions, and even just introducing you. I'm so used to, giving away people's names right away that I had to
Hmm.
really tell myself to hold back a little bit. So I think that in itself would be a nice little surprise. Again, thank you for all your contributions here.
I appreciate
Now,
you too. You as well, my friend.
dude, thank you. Thank you. Moving the conversation forward, for anyone who hasn't heard of ADA handles, I try to give
Hmm.
that brief spiel at the very beginning, but could you maybe break down, what makes the ADA handle standard so unique and why everybody within the community should actually own or at least take the opportunity to see what you guys are bringing to the table?
Of course. Yeah, so the ADA handle standard basically was originated by trying to simplify using Cardano in general, because cryptocurrency in general has been a very complicated thing for, doesn't matter which blockchain you're on, it's a very, very complicated thing to understand. It's hard to onboard. So the handle standard makes everything a little bit easier when you're especially using on Cardano. And we're also expanding to other chains like Bitcoin. Got a lot of cool, very exciting news happening with that. That's coming out right now and more in the future as well. But the handle standard itself basically makes it extremely, extremely easy for users on Cardano to use a NFT. And this NFT actually makes it easy for you to send and receive ADA and Bitcoin. And it also makes it easier for you to manage your profiles or portfolios and see like all the different trades, all of their, we're integrated with all of the Cardano explorers, going to be integrated into some Bitcoin explorers coming up here very soon. So the main objective of the handle standard is to simplify Cardano. So that's how it originated, trying to simplify it. And now we're getting very close to 70,000 holders on the Cardano blockchain specifically, which is very, very exciting. It's been a long road coming, just a lot of onboarding, a lot of different things that we've been building to try to make things more useful. So we're making it very, very simple to send and receive ADA. That's the main objective of the handle standard, but there's also a lot of other things that we've added to provide extra value, like all of the NFTs that you own for the handle naming standard. They're actually on-chain NFTs that you can personalize and make however you would like to. So if you wanted to add your own type of branding on there, you wanted to put all of your social media accounts on there, you can also add a QR code, make it very colorful and exciting. So, and then we've also added other things like sub handles, which basically allows handle owners to mint very, very cheap sub handles and send them to family and friends. So if you own the handle, you could have like one at handle, and that's an example of a sub handle that you could then use for different wallets and different things like that. That's another feature that has come about inside of owning a handle. A lot of projects actually use handles for like transparency reasons. So they show all of the different wallets that they have inside of their businesses so that the community can easily track them and see how funds are moving around across the chain to increase transparency across all of Cardano. So there's a lot of different projects that are using them like that as well. So it's that's the gist of it, but it gets a lot more complicated. We've been working directly with Sunday Labs, and we recently just launched the decentralized minting engine, which is actually fully decentralized the handle standard itself. So that's a very big part of it as well. These NFTs that are on chain, if you own a handle, they're on the Cardano blockchain and they can never be taken away from you. It's a one-time fee. Once you purchase a handle, you're going to own it forever. And now with this decentralized minting engine, um, the handle standard will live on forever. So there is no more intermediaries when it comes to minting a handle and continuing on the handle standard itself. When you want to make a new name, it's all managed through smart contracts on the Cardano blockchain right now. So it's a very, very exciting. We want to push the ideals of decentralization to the maximum that we possibly can, because that's why we're all here in Cardano, because we really value decentralization, especially. So that's been something that was very, very cool that we accomplished just a couple of months ago to finally push the handle standard fully decentralized. So it's going to live on forever now.
That was nice and clean there. Thank you for that. And I think one of the biggest pieces that I really loved there was what you mentioned about the adoption and integration into Bitcoin, which
Hmm.
again, you've been in this ecosystem for a very long time. And
Yep.
I want to say the craze started about a year ago. This was
Right.
right after the Cardano summit with Bitcoin OS. There was sort of like this bridgeless transaction and just Cardano talking, not Cardano, excuse me, Charles Hoskinson talking about
Hmm.
Cardano and Bitcoin DeFi sort of coming together, right, with what they called the UTXO bros. And it sounds like you guys are essentially also being able to leverage that there as well,
Yes.
right? Bringing the handle standard, not just to Cardano, but also expanding that into Bitcoin. And so before we dive into how, which I think
Hmm.
is really the main point here, I'd love to sort of hear your take and maybe what's going to be coming next in terms of expansions and sort
Right.
of, opportunities with handle.
Of course. Yeah, so we've actually had the very fortunate opportunity to be able to work directly with a lot of these new teams that are coming on at Cardano. So with the boss team, the Bitcoin OS, we were actually able to communicate directly with the developer team. So in terms of how we're going to be expanding to Bitcoin, it's still a very new territory in terms of the technology we're going to use. So we're actually communicating with a lot of different teams to figure out what would be the best technology to move forward with the handle standard. But I can't explain that it's been amazing. So working directly with the boss team, and now they're actually having their new technology that just released is called Charms. So that's the technology that Boss is going to be using to seamlessly be able to move assets in between chains. So that goes as well for Bitcoin and other UTXO chains, but mainly Bitcoin. So an example would be able to hopefully one day using this technology be able to transfer a handle over to the Bitcoin side and be able to use it the same way you would as owning it on Cardano. But the technology side of it is still getting figured out because it's so new. So we've been working with the Boss team, the Charms team, and we've also been working a little bit with the IOG Bitcoin DeFi team with Lucas and Riley. They're very cool guys, very, very smart. And they're also working on a different concept that's also going to be used for the Bitcoin DeFi through like Lace Wallet and stuff like that. So in the terms of the technology, we're not exactly positive or certain on which way we're going to go about it in terms of the technology, but something that we're very focused on for the Bitcoin side is maintaining the handle standard itself and all of the 70,000 holders that we already have. So to because we don't want the double mints on Bitcoin and Cardano. So that's a very big factor to like increase value and add value to our already handle owners on Cardano. So what we've been discussing is actually being able to allow the sub handle technology. So owners of handles will actually be able to mint a sub handle. So it doesn't have a double mint when you're on Bitcoin is because it's a sub handle, but it will be potentially minted on the Bitcoin blockchain and used that way. So users who own a handle right now, they'll be able to actually sell sub handles and get Bitcoin for that. And then the people who purchase them will mint them on Bitcoin or something or SOS. Or like an example for us, we're like a handle that we own right now that we're thinking about using is the Stats. So SATS. So an example when we open up the sub handle minting for that on the Bitcoin side would be like BTC at Stats. And then we'll allow people to mint those sub handles. We're integrating with more Bitcoin wallets. We just integrated with the Charms wallet. We're integrated with the Lace wallet. So we're ready to go when it comes to all of this new technology coming online. We're just still in the development stages of figuring out which is the best way, the most secure way to go about it. But everybody in the community doesn't have to worry about the double minting standard of things because we're going to go about it through the sub handles. So once this technology is implemented, it'll actually be a major value add for everybody who already owns a handle. So it's a lot of very, very cool stuff, very, very exciting, and very fortunate to be able to work so close with all of these teams. There's been a lot of very, very smart people inside of the Cardano ecosystem, and it's cool to see how much it's actually expanding. Because with this Bitcoin technology itself, it is. We've heard Charles talk about it a lot, but it is actually very, very possible to see, hundreds of billions to trillions of dollars flow into the Cardano ecosystem because of this new technology. And because of that, we're going to see like a major growth inside of the Cardano ecosystem. A lot of the dApps that are implementing this technology as well is going to see major increases. A lot of on-chain transactions is also going to be increasing the volume. So that's something like with the handle team itself, we wanted to make sure that we're a part of this new movement. As we expand Cardano, we also want to make sure that everybody who comes into the ecosystem has all of these tools on Bitcoin or Cardano to keep everything simplified.
All right. It is officially time for us to dive into H.A.L.
There we go.
So this is interesting here. You guys have an upcoming mint.
Mhm.
I'd love for you to maybe sort of break down, what is this all about? It seems like there's going to be some new features, new capabilities, and new integrations with the handle standard, NFTs, as well as gaming. So the
Mhm.
floor is yours.
Perfect. Yeah. So the HAL NFT collection, the the best way to explain it is that it's the next evolution of the handle standard. So I just explained how handles themselves work and how the handle standard itself works, but we are wanting to expand it to more of a three-dimensional type of standard, versus just the 2D naming side of things. So with these NFTs themselves, they're actually going to be completely three-dimensional assets that are going to be compatible with Unity, Unreal Engine, other gaming engines as we continue on, but Unity and Unreal are already completely ready to go. We have character controllers for these assets. So the point of these assets is to be able to become a real virtual identity representation for people inside of the ecosystem versus just being a naming standard. So people are going to be able to customize, personalize these assets however they would like to over time. We're going to be having a lot of different assets that people are going to be able to purchase and give for free through different mechanisms that they can then personalize these assets. So over time, everybody will have different individualized. They'll be able to have different attributes that really represent who they are on chain. And then the representation side of it, they're actually able to carry that into different blockchain gaming services. Like an example of that is Ascent Rivals, and they're a game that's live right now. And they're a third-person shooter game where you're driving around the map and trying to take out your opponents. And they're probably going to be one of the first people that integrate this asset as like sort of like your friend in game. So, or then you can go into cornucopias, and we've been talking with all the different projects that are building different games online right now to get this integrated just as easily as you would with like the handle standard. So people will be able to easily grab this on-chain information, have these files, the FBX files, the GLB files, to be able to take this character into any games and make it more fun, and people are able to actually represent themselves in a real way on chain, sort of how we like to talk about it on the team, sort of like how Ready Player One. I don't know if anybody's seen that movie, but it's a very cool movie, futuristic movie, just about a digital world, and everybody's owning their assets, and everybody has different avatars as they're going about. So as this blockchain space expands and things get bigger and the digital side of things get bigger and everybody starts using it more, we want our community to be able to go into all of these different worlds and be able to mess around, communicate with people, engage with the community in different side of ways. And that's more of the fun side of it. So we want to bring back some fun to Cardano, give people some entertainment purposes, have people really engaged in using the chain and creating transactions and increasing the volume, giving people something fun to have. And then also, along with all of the fun, cool gaming side things, is the assets themselves are actually they're probably one of the most advanced assets on Cardano, just because of their technical capabilities through the CIP68 native asset standard. Owners of these NFTs, throughout all the games that they're going to be messing around with and all the staking mechanisms that are going to be coming on later with us, all of this information that you're going around from games and upgrading things and unlocking more assets and upgrading your character and achievements, unlocking achievements. All of that information is actually going to be saved on chain in your HAL NFT. So you can think about it like a gamer profile in a way, or yeah, exactly, like a gamer profile. So all of this information is actually saved on chain, and you'll never be able to have it taken away from you. So even if you purchase more assets over time or everything that you want to add on to it, you can imagine you're going to open up your customization dashboard where you'll be able to see all the different assets that you own with your HAL, and you'll be able to customize, choose, pick any type of attributes you want, upgrade it. And then when you go to, if you even want to sell it after you have leveled it up a whole bunch and have a bunch of achievements on it, all of those unlocks will still be attached to that asset. So as you're progressing and unlocking new things and doing different things with your HAL NFT, you're actually increasing the value of it versus just having a HAL NFT that's not doing anything. So you could have a level 10 HAL NFT versus somebody else's like level 1 HAL NFT. And that's just about you participating in the ecosystem and actually using this functionality. And it's when we look back in time over just like blockchain history in general, a very funny story is how actually Ethereum came about. It was with Vitalik. It was one of the main reasons why he started actually building it, is because in one of his favorite video games, he lost one of his favorite weapons, inside of the game itself. And it really frustrated him enough to want to start building decentralized technology so that could never happen again. So this is actually a very cool, like, it's kind of leading on to like that form of idea where people are going to be able to actually own their assets. All the things that I unlock, they're actually going to be saved on chain, so people were never able to lose them, and they'll be able to own them forever because it's all on the Cardano blockchain. And then as we continue on, there's so much more stuff that are coming with these NFTs. A very cool feature as well is that along with the handles, the regular handle NFTs themselves, the H.A.L NFT will actually be able to resolve in other wallets the same way as a handle will. So we're using subhandle technology with the H.A.L H.A.L handle. So we're going to actually mint 10,000 subhandles, and we're going to attach those directly to the H.A.L NFT. So after launch, once you have that H.A.L NFT, you can actually use its asset name just how you would a regular handle. So it actually comes with the regular handle functionality with all of this other utility along with the gaming. The art is very, very cool. Our artist, his name is Nessie, and he spent a long time. He's actually been working on this art, handmade, all of his 3D handmade pieces that he put together and has been working on for over a year now to try to get all these assets put together. Yeah, exactly. Yep. That's our artist, Nessie. And so everything was put together, hand designed. And so the art side of it is actually amazing. I can't wait for everybody to see the different legendaries and the different rarity levels that are inside of the collection to see how cool this 3D art is and how easy it is for it to be integrated into different games, videos, and people are going to be able to do different things with it as well. Once they have these files, people are going to be able to create different content pieces that they want to. That's how I've been able to create a lot of the videos that have been posted on the Handle account, because these assets are actual 3D assets, and they're very easy to actually integrate into different video editing softwares and 3D programs to make them move around, dance, or do whatever you would like to do. So that's another very, very important side of it. And just want to ask, I've been talking for a second, do you have any questions, or before I move on to the more? There's even more.
It's my job to have questions.
Right.
I think it's really important to let the community know, first off, when is the mint and how will
Mm-hmm.
that operate? I'm actually on the actual mint site now.
Perfect.
It looks like as it currently stands, there's a couple of days here until it opens up. But do you mind breaking down the process from start to beginning? How much is this going to cost?
Mm-hmm.
All of that kind of jazz.
Yeah, of course. So if people want to go check it out right now, it's hal.handle.me, so that you can go over there right now. We had some whitelist competitions over last month. So we actually secured over 1,700 different whitelists from different handle owners. So if you would like to go to hal.handle.me, you can connect your wallet and you'll be able to see if you're actually made the whitelist or not. So the mint date is actually going to be on September 11th. So it's next week on a Thursday. September 11th, and the public phase will begin at 12 p.m. or 1 second. It'll actually begin at 7 p.m. Yeah, so the public phase of the mint will begin at 7 p.m. UTC time. And then for the whitelist, there's actually going to be two sets of whitelist. We whitelisted OG handle holders. So I think you said that you were one of the first people, maybe you have an OG, so you might be whitelisted there. So if you have an OG handle, you are whitelisted if you had it in your wallet. We took a snapshot a couple months ago. So you'll be able to connect your wallet, see that you have a whitelist spot. So it was OG handle owners, and it was also 2-character handle owners. So just like $12 or B4 or any example of a 2-character handle, if you held it in your wallet, you are also whitelisted. So if you just connect your wallet that owns the handle inside of there, you will see that you're on the whitelist. And the first whitelist phase is actually going to begin at 1 p.m. UTC. So the first whitelist phase is going to have 3 full hours to mint as many, not as many, they're going to have 5 per whitelist spot, H.A.L packs. So they're going to be able to start minting at 1 p.m. UTC on September 11th. And they'll be the first phase. And then the second phase is actually all of the whitelists that we gathered from all the different competitions we did over last month. So that will begin at 4 p.m. UTC on September 11th. And they will also have a full 3 hours till the public mint begins. And then everybody who didn't get whitelisted will have a chance to enter the mint and mint as many houses they want. And like I said, for the whitelist phases, if you have one whitelist spot, you can mint 5 H.A.L packs. So that's the next thing. inside of this mint, it's actually something that the whole team is very, very, very proud of. We spent a long time putting this together because for me specifically, being inside of the Cardano ecosystem for a very long time, I've minted hundreds and hundreds of NFT projects, and I've seen all different types of minting experiences. I've gone through the whole process from start to beginning, hundreds and hundreds of times. So something that I wanted to make very important when we were building this is that the minting experience needs to be fun and exciting and engaging and provide real value to people instead of just sending a transaction and just waiting for it to arrive in your wallet. So for the whitelist and for the public phases as well, once it's time for you to mint, you can order in the whitelist phase, you can have 5 HAL packs at once, and in the public phase, you can order 7 HAL packs at once. And once you order that, you're going to be entered into a whole entire minting experience that we've designed along with 14 other projects. So that was a very big thing. With the 14 other teams that we've partnered with, an example is like Liquid Finance, Tap Tools, Sunday, Hosky. We can go down the line, JPEG Store, Clay Nation, Titans, Fluxpoint Studios, Hosky. There's a whole bunch of teams, 14 different projects that we've partnered with. So in these minting experiences, we're actually going to be representing these different projects inside of the experience itself. So there's going to be 14 different experiences that people can have depending on how many HAL packs they purchase. So once they enter this minting experience, it's going to be very, very exciting. I don't want to say too much, don't want to spoil the surprises, but people are going to actually be receiving 5 different assets inside of their one HAL pack. So if you purchase 5 HAL packs, you're actually going to be getting 25 different assets, different NFTs and RFTs. So in each HAL pack, there's 1 HAL, and then there's going to be 4 additional assets that come along with your HAL. So one of them is going to be an actual special exclusive handle background that you can use in personalization that comes directly from the artists on these 14 projects that we've partnered up with. So if you purchase a HAL pack, you could potentially get an exclusive Sunday Labs or a Liquid Finance or Tap Tools handle background exclusive to the HAL Mint only. And then there's also 3 additional assets, which includes another handle background, which was actually designed by our artist Nessie. And he spent another year long doing this all by hand. He made 10,000 individual handle backgrounds. So there's 10,000, all of them are unique. Everyone is completely different than the next. So people who purchase a HAL NFT, they'll also get another background as that. And then you'll be getting an additional 3D asset that you can later use to personalize your HAL. And then the last piece is actually based on the lore that we've designed and put together. Our CEO, Goose, co-founder of Handle, he actually has been working very, very hard on the lore for months now. He's written so much, so there's going to be a whole bunch of lore as well that people are going to be able to dive into and explore the whole HAL universe and how it functions and all the history behind it. So there's going to be another piece, a part of the collection where it's about the lore. So we're calling it the Concept Lore Collection. And there's going to be 24 pieces based off the 24 legendary HALs inside of the collection that each have their own individual lore. So when you buy one HAL pack, you're going to get all 5 of these different assets. And inside of the experience, once you're randomly distributed one of the 14 different project experiences, you're going to be able to pretty much discover like all 5 of your assets inside of this minting experience. People are going to be able to click and drag different things, move things around, a lot of fun music and animations that are going to be popping up as you go through each of those 5 different assets to discover which one you get. With the minting experience itself, we wanted to make it something that's very, very easy for people in the community to remember forever, because that was a big part about the experience. You know, it adds a lot of value and fun to the ecosystem when people can go in there and instead of just sending a transaction like they always do, they're able to purchase something, experience this whole thing that'll take them a couple minutes, and they'll have a lot of fun seeing all the different animations and different ways to go about the experience itself. And they'll actually be able to relive the mint forever. So along with the HAL Dapp, once you connect your wallet again, after you've minted these packs, you'll always be able to come back to the site and relive the mint again and again. So if you got like a very cool pack, you'll be able to always go back in the memories and relive it because it'll always be saved on chain. And also you'll be able to share it with people. So if you say you're going through the experience and you get a rare H.A.L, you'll actually be able to share the experience directly, and then people will be able to open up the experience without connecting their wallet, and they'll be able to go through the experience as well to experience what you experience. So it's a very, very exciting, and I think that the community is going to be very, very appreciative of it, because there's definitely not been something like this in Cardano for for a very, very long time. So along with all the utility, the fun things that come with the H.A.L NFT, the minting experience itself is going to be phenomenal. So people are definitely going to be spending a lot of time in there. I think everybody's going to greatly appreciate it, because we've worked with a lot of different people to get all the art together, and it's been a very, very long process to get the actual experience functioning, where people can click and drag all of the different animations, all the sounds that are involved with it, all the different art pieces from the 14 different projects that we had to get together. So it's from the community standpoint, I believe that they're going to really, really enjoy it and have a great time, and it's going to be something that hopefully they remember forever. So it's very, very exciting. And then, once you go through that minting experience, you're going to see all of the NFTs that you have purchased and received. They'll be inside of your wallet, and you'll be able to start interacting with the H.A.L ecosystem directly after that.
That's awesome, man. Sounds like you guys are raising the bar and setting a
Mm-hmm.
new standard when it comes to the minting experience itself. And I'll definitely be showing up to show some support for you guys. And
Appreciate
again,
it.
just the builders, right? Like you said, it's not just the ADA handle team.
Right.
It's Liquid Finance, it's Hosky, it's Flux Point Studio, Sunday Swap. These are the the grassroots, the foundations.
Right.
Like without all these protocols, including yourselves, the Cardano ecosystem would not be what it is. And so,
Exactly.
as we get ready to wind things down here, I have to ask, first off, for any closing thoughts, things that you might think that the community has to or needs to know about, and then after that, how anybody can get in touch with you, the rest of
Mm-hmm.
the team, or just join the A to Handle community ahead of the H.A.L Mint.
Of course. Yeah. So the first thing that I probably should mention as well, along with these H.A.L NFTs, the very, very big side of it is that owners of these NFTs are actually going to become the premium members of the Handle ecosystem. So that means that owners of these NFTs are actually going to be able to use new products that we're going to be building and launching over the years. First, they're going to be able to participate in different Handle events. So we have a lot more stuff planned. Like I'm sure some people have heard in the past, we've actually been talking a lot about encrypted messaging and how to go about that with the Handle standard itself. So we're still in development processes on that. I can't say too much, but Handle owners are actually going to be able to be some of the first people to participate in some of the encrypted messaging side of things. We're also launching our own NFT marketplace that's going to be coming out here very shortly after the H.A.L launch, which is also going to come with auction functionality. So there's going to be a new auction marketplace that everybody's going to be able to use and participate in. And then, like I said, there's going to be different Handle events over the years that owners of these NFTs are going to be actually the main, they're going to be very, very favored when it comes to these events and participating inside of them. So the H.A.L owners, they're actually going to be the premium members of the Handle ecosystem. Because like I said earlier, we have almost 70,000 holders, and we would love for everybody to be a premium member. But when it comes to the exclusivity of some of these new dApps that we're building and new projects, we wanted to make sure that it's the people who really want to be a part of this ecosystem long term and going to participate, and there'll be a lot of value is going to be provided to them for sure. And one more quick thing, once you understand that how much utility and future value is going to come from owning a H.A.L NFT, a very fun thing that's going to be happening in the mint also is we're going to be having the very first single character handle, the legendary handle. It's going to be the very first one minted on chain, and it's going to be the very first one for probably a long time. So it's probably the most valuable handle inside of the entire ecosystem out of all 260,000 handles minted on chain, because it's going to be the only single character one. And people who actually participate in the H.A.L NFT mint, they're going to have a chance at winning one of 100 legendary handle tickets that is then going to be putting them into a raffle for the first single character legendary handle, which is $0. So it's for the zero single character handle. And people who participate in this mint, the mint price is 180 ADA per H.A.L pack. You get 5 in the pack, but 100 lucky people inside of this collection are going to get a legendary handle ticket. So they'll actually get 6 assets in their one pack, and you'll see it in your wallet. It's going to be a tradable asset. It'll also be able to be used as a handle background as well, so you can show it off to all your friends and different people in the community. But this is going to be very, very exciting for the community, just to add another value piece to it, because whoever wins that single character legendary handle, they're going to be able to do whatever they want with it. So we expect to see a very, very exciting secondary market volume increase once all of these tickets start hitting the chain, because I know people are going to be trying to collect more than one. So if you are the person who is lucky enough to win the on-chain raffle with these tickets, you're going to be sent the first single character handle, and you'll be able to do whatever you please with it. If you want to sell it, if you want to hold on to it, increase the value over time, use it for some of this new Bitcoin technology that we're going to be releasing here pretty soon over the year. So it's going to be very, very exciting. I think people are going to be going very crazy over this asset for sure, because it's one of the most valuable assets probably on Cardano in general, just because of the rarity and the utility that comes along with it. So that's going to be
And
very, very exciting.
it sounds like you guys have spent a lot of time, really thinking about how to gamify and make this mint as
Mm-hmm.
attractive, interactive, and creative as possible. And so, of course, I wish you guys all the best of luck. And to your point about the value of that legendary, from time to time, I see this bot on X, which
Mm-hmm.
will sort of let me know about, high dollar ticket items that have sold on JPEG.store.
Right.
And you tend to see, some pretty lucrative handles that maybe
Yes.
didn't, mean much a couple of months ago, but that now are super, super valuable. I think one of them was just Bitcoin or something like that. And
Yes.
people
Yes.
have made a lot from these NFTs. So obviously not financial advice,
Of
you want to
course.
just be a supporter of handle, but that would definitely be a nice surprise to be able to win that
Yeah.
$0 that
We
legendary.
have some people inside of the community that are very, very amazing people that are so passionate about the handle, the utility behind it, and the future prospects of it. So there's people inside of the community that are very much willing to um, hold on to these rare assets because they're so valuable and so rare. And like what you were saying, just in December of last year, the end of the year of 2024, someone had purchased the BTC handle, and they had purchased it for 50,000 ADA, and they're not selling it. They're holding on to that thing proudly. They're not letting go of it. We've actually spoken with them, and they're one of a very amazing person inside the handle community. And there's a lot of people that are going to be looking at that single character the same way. So it's we don't, like I said, no, not financial advice, but the value prospect on a single character handle is quite wild for sure, especially since it's going to be the only single character handle for a while. Like what I mentioned earlier, the auction functionality that we're going to be launching on our new NFT marketplace. A part of that is actually going to be that is how we're going to distribute the other legendary handles over time. So it's not going to be this year because we're working on so many other things. So this single character handle, it's going to be the only one for a very, very long time. And then for the other single character handles, the only way that people are going to be able to acquire them is by um, battling off whales inside of this auction marketplace. So if you don't want to battle off whales and see those really high prices on the single characters, the H.A.L NFT mint on September 11th is going to probably be the most affordable way to possibly acquire a single character handle. And I'm very excited for it. Everybody on the team, we've already discussed that we're going to be minting some of ourselves. Like, just personally, I'm going to be minting a couple packs myself, but we've already discussed that nobody's allowed to get legendary tickets. So we want it to go to the community, because I think it would be very, very cool to see somebody that really needed it get it. And just the level of excitement, because one single asset like that, along with the legendary H.A.Ls that are inside of the collection, those are obviously going to be the higher ticket price items on the secondary, and it could be potentially a life-changing thing for somebody. So it's a very, very exciting, and I think we'll see a lot of volume increase on secondary once those tickets hit the market and the legendary H.A.Ls start popping up, because people are going to be wanting to own those to participate in all of the future handle stuff that's going to be going on.
Man, nicely said here. As we get ready to close out, for anybody
Mhm.
again that wants to get in touch with you, the team, how can they do that?
Of course. Yeah. So we're mainly on X right now. So if you go to at Ada Handle on X, you'll be able to DM us. And also there's a link to the Discord. So the developer team is actually always in the Discord 24/7. So if you have any issues, there's any issues going on with your wallet, you're finding something wrong with like a transaction not being worked with the handle side of things, you can just hop into the Discord for Ada Handle and you'll be able to talk to the dev team directly. But if you have any questions about anything, you can always DM the Ada Handle account or leave a comment and we'll be able to see it. I'll reach out to you and we'll be able to respond as fast as possible to get your issue figured out. Or if you have any questions about the H.A.L NFT drop, just drop a comment below and the team will be able to contact you very soon. And we also have other accounts as well. Like we just recently launched the Ada Handle TikTok account, the Ada Handle Instagram account. So also on there, if you want to look us up, Ada Handle on TikTok and Ada Handle on Instagram, you can also comment there, message us there, and we'll be able to reach out to you as soon as possible.
Perfect. And that gives me the idea that I need to be on those platforms as well.
Right,
Dapp
right.
Central's only on YouTube and X, but I think there's a lot of market space on TikTok and Instagram, Facebook, and
100%.
so many other platforms. But just trying to take it one day at a time. Again,
Right.
ladies and gentlemen, we've got the CMO here of Core Labs, the builders behind Ada Handle, the NFT powered wallet naming solution here, which is not only in Cardano, but now also expanding into Bitcoin, bringing on their H.A.L Mint taking place here on the 11th of September. Links to
Mhm.
everything, as we've just discussed, will be down below. I want to say thank you. Thanks to the rest of the team. And again, look forward to having you on here for additional conversations around what you guys are bringing in terms of value to the ecosystem. That said, for you, the viewer watching at home, if you found this particular conversation around the handle standard, the upcoming mint to just be helpful or beneficial, or you just learn anything, right? Please smash that thumbs up on the way out. It is by far one of the easiest and simplest ways to show your support here, not just for me, but for builders just like the Ada Handle team within the community. If you want more content just like this, consider subscribing to the Dapp Central YouTube channel. And if you
Mhm.
have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to voice off down below. I'll do my best to answer them. And if I'm not able to, I'll make sure to forward them over to the Handle team. That said, and as always, we'll see you all in the next video. Cheers, everybody. Take care.